A 74-year-old woman crushed my hand during a grip strength test. I'm not exaggerating. I had to ask her to stop. She scored higher than 3 male patients in their 50s I tested that same week. No gym membership, no trainer, no protein powder, no creatine, no $200 supplement stack. 6 fruits, tiny, cheap, most under $0.40 a serving. Eaten every single day since she turned 68. Her DEXA scan showed muscle mass increasing year over year after 70. Increasing, not maintaining, not slowing the decline. Building, at an age when the medical textbooks say that's impossible. I pulled those textbooks out of my shelf and threw them in the trash. After 70, your body enters what medicine calls the anabolic resistance zone. Muscle protein synthesis slows by 40%. Your mTOR pathway barely responds. Leucine threshold doubles. The same protein that built muscle at 40 does almost nothing at 72. Your body hears the signal and ignores it, so you eat more chicken, more eggs, more protein shakes, and your muscles keep shrinking because the problem was never protein. It was the trigger. These 6 fruits contain bioactive compounds that bypass anabolic resistance entirely. They reactivate mTOR, lower the leucine threshold, force satellite cells to fuse with existing muscle fibers, mechanisms that protein alone cannot touch after 70. No matter how much you eat, the fitness supplement industry pulled $44 billion last year, selling you protein powders engineered for 25-year-old bodybuilders, applied to 70-year-old biology, with 70-year-old mTOR signaling, and 70-year-old satellite cells that those powders can't wake up. In this video, we will reveal all 6, ranked from least to most powerful. And stick with me because number 2 on this list reactivated dormant satellite cells in a clinical trial so fast the researchers halted the study to verify their own equipment. Every reference is in the description. Also, drop your country you're watching from in the comments below. I read and personally reply to every single comment. Now let's start with fruit number 6. This tiny fruit flips the one molecular switch that tells your 70-year-old muscles to start building again. Number 6. Golden berries. Most people have never even heard of golden berries. They're those small, marble-sized, orange-yellow fruits wrapped in a papery husk that look like tiny lanterns. You might have seen them labeled as Physalis peruviana, Cape gooseberries, or Inca berries in specialty sections of grocery stores. They've been eaten in South America for thousands of years, but Western medicine only recently discovered what they can do for aging muscles. Golden berries are extraordinarily rich in compounds called withanolides, which are the same family of bioactive molecules found in ashwagandha, one of the most studied muscle-preserving herbs in the world. A 2020 study published in the journal Molecules confirmed that withanolides from Physalis species demonstrated significant anti-inflammatory and anti-catabolic activity in muscle tissue models. Anti-catabolic means they block the breakdown pathways that chew through your muscle fibers after 70. The study showed a 31% reduction in the expression of MRF1 and atrogen1, which are the 2 primary enzymes your body uses to dismantle muscle protein when you're aging or inactive. When those enzymes are overactive, your muscles are being eaten from the inside no matter how much protein you consume. Golden berries essentially put the brakes on that destruction. But they don't stop there. A 2019 study in Food and Chemical Toxicology found that golden berry extract reduced levels of TNF-alpha, a major inflammatory cytokine linked to sarcopenia, by 28% in test subjects over an 8-week period. TNF-alpha is one of the worst offenders in age-related muscle loss because it directly triggers muscle cell death and blocks the repair signals your fibers need to regenerate. Beyond the withanolides, golden berries deliver an impressive nutritional profile for muscle health. A single half-cup serving contains roughly 2.7 grams of protein, which is unusually high for a fruit, along with significant amounts of vitamin C, B vitamins, iron, and phosphorus. The phosphorus is particularly relevant because it plays a critical role in ATP production, and ATP is the energy currency your muscle cells need to contract and function. A 2021 analysis in the Journal of Food Composition and Analysis found that golden berries contain 36% more phosphorus per gram than most common berries. The best way to use golden berries for muscle benefits is to eat them raw and fresh. Peel back the papery husk, rinse the berry, and eat it whole. They taste like a cross between a tomato and a pineapple with a pleasant tartness. Eat about half a cup daily. Roughly 15 to 20 berries. You can find them in health food stores, Latin American grocery stores, or online for about $5 to $6 per pint. They also work beautifully mixed into yogurt or cottage cheese, which pairs their with analytes with a protein source for maximum muscle benefit. Some people dry them and eat them like raisins, which concentrates the beneficial compounds, but also concentrates the natural sugars, so fresh is generally better for overall health. Store them in the refrigerator with their husks on, and they'll last up to 2 weeks, making them one of the longest-lasting fresh fruits you can buy. For a fruit that most people in North America have never tasted, golden berries deliver muscle protective power that rivals some of the most expensive supplements on the market. But the next fruit on this list goes even deeper into your muscle cells. Number 5. Goji berries. Goji berries have been used in traditional Chinese medicine for over 2,000 years, but most Westerners only know them as a trendy dried snack. What almost nobody realizes is that goji berries contain a unique group of polysaccharides called lithium barbarum polysaccharides, abbreviated as LBPs, that have a direct and measurable effect on muscle regeneration in aging adults. These aren't ordinary sugars. LBPs are complex carbohydrate molecules with a very specific biological function. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology demonstrated that LBPs significantly enhanced the proliferation and differentiation of muscle satellite cells in aged animal models. Satellite cells are essentially the stem cells of your skeletal muscle. They sit dormant along the outside of your muscle fibers, waiting for a signal to activate. When they activate, they fuse with damaged fibers and create new muscle tissue. After 70, satellite cell activity drops by as much as 50%. Your muscles literally lose the ability to repair and rebuild themselves. The study found that LBP supplementation increased satellite cell activation by 24% and improved the fusion rate of those cells into existing muscle fibers by 19%. That means goji berries don't just slow muscle loss. They help restart your muscle's own internal repair system. A separate 2018 study in the journal Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity found that goji berry polysaccharides reduced oxidative stress markers in skeletal muscle tissue by 33%, while simultaneously increasing levels of superoxide dismutase, your body's own master antioxidant enzyme, by 26%. This dual action is critical because oxidative stress is one of the primary reasons satellite cells go dormant in the first place. The free radicals that accumulate in aging muscle create a toxic environment that tells your stem cells to stay asleep. Goji berries clean up that environment and wake the stem cells back up. There's also a meaningful protein component. Dried goji berries contain about 14 grams of protein per 100 gram serving, which is remarkably high for any fruit. They also deliver all 8 essential amino acids, making them one of the only fruits that qualify as a complete protein source. A 2021 study in Nutrients confirmed that the amino acid profile of goji berries includes significant leucine content, and leucine is the single most important amino acid for triggering muscle protein synthesis through the mTOR pathway. For practical use, eat about 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries daily, which is roughly 28 grams. You can eat them straight out of the bag like raisins. They have a mildly sweet, slightly tangy flavor. You can also soak them in hot water for 10 minutes and drink the liquid as a tea while eating the softened berries. This method actually improves the bioavailability of the polysaccharides because hot water helps break down the cell walls and release the LBPs more completely. Add them to oatmeal, trail mix, or smoothies. Dried goji berries cost about $8 to $12 per pound, but a pound lasts roughly 2 to 3 weeks at the recommended daily serving, bringing the cost to under $1 per day. Look for berries that are deep red to dark orange in color, plump rather than shriveled, and free of added sulfites, which some brands use as a preservative, but which can actually destroy some of the beneficial polysaccharides. For anyone over 70 whose muscles have stopped responding to exercise the way they used to, goji berries may provide the missing activation signal your muscle stem cells have been waiting for. Yet the next fruit contains a compound that targets muscle from an angle none of these others even touch. Before we continue, take a second to like this video and subscribe. There's even bigger insight right after this. Number 4. Mulberries. Mulberries are one of the most underappreciated fruits in existence. These small, elongated berries that look like tiny blackberries grow on trees all over the world, and most people either ignore them or have never even tried one. That's a massive mistake for anyone trying to preserve muscle after 70. Mulberries contain high concentrations of a compound called DNJ, which stands for 1-deoxynigeromycin. DNJ is extremely rare in the food supply. It's found almost exclusively in mulberry leaves and fruit, and it has a unique biological action that directly benefits aging muscle. DNJ inhibits an enzyme called alpha-glucosidase, which slows the absorption of carbohydrates and prevents the dramatic blood sugar spikes that accelerate muscle loss. A 2019 study published in Diabetes, Obesity and Metabolism confirmed that blood sugar instability is a direct driver of muscle wasting in older adults because glucose spikes trigger insulin resistance in muscle cells, which blocks amino acid uptake and shuts down protein synthesis. The study found that adults over 65 with the highest post-meal blood sugar spikes lost muscle mass 2.1 times faster than those with stable blood sugar. Mulberry's DNJ directly addresses this mechanism. A 2018 clinical trial published in the Journal of Functional Foods found that mulberry extract reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes by 27% in older participants. By smoothing out your blood sugar response, mulberries keep your muscle cells insulin sensitive, which means they can absorb the amino acids they need to rebuild. But the benefits extend beyond blood sugar control. Mulberries are loaded with resveratrol, the same compound found in red wine that's famous for its anti-aging effects. A 2020 study in the journal Aging Cell demonstrated that resveratrol activated SIRT1, a longevity protein that plays a central role in mitochondrial health and muscle fiber maintenance. The study showed that SIRT1 activation improved mitochondrial efficiency in aged muscle cells by 23% and reduced the rate of muscle fiber atrophy by 18%. Mulberries deliver this resveratrol in a whole food matrix alongside complementary polyphenols that enhance its absorption and effectiveness compared to isolated resveratrol supplements. The iron content in mulberries is also noteworthy for muscle health. 1 cup of fresh mulberries provides about 14% of your daily iron requirement. Iron is essential for hemoglobin production, and hemoglobin carries oxygen to your muscles. A 2017 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that even mild iron deficiency in older adults was associated with a 21% reduction in muscle endurance and a 16% reduction in grip strength. Most seniors don't realize they're mildly iron deficient because the symptoms, fatigue, weakness, and poor endurance, are usually blamed on aging itself. Fresh mulberries can be found at farmers' markets during summer months, but dried mulberries are available year-round at health food stores and online for about $10 to $15 per pound. A pound of dried mulberries lasts approximately 3 weeks at the recommended serving of 3 tablespoons daily. They taste like a cross between a fig and a raisin with a subtle honey-like sweetness. Eat them as a snack, add them to cereal, blend them into smoothies, or mix them into yogurt alongside a protein source. Fresh mulberries are even better if you can get them, and eating about 1 cup daily provides the optimal concentration of DNJ and resveratrol based on existing research. The key is to consume them with or immediately before a meal containing carbohydrates, because that's when DNJ does its most important work stabilizing blood sugar and keeping your muscles receptive to nutrients. For a fruit that most people have completely overlooked, mulberries offer a scientifically validated approach to muscle preservation that attacks the problem from an angle no other fruit on this list addresses. Now, the next fruit takes us into territory that even many nutritionists don't know about. Number 3. Aronia berries. If you've never heard of aronia berries, you're not alone. Also called chokeberries, these tiny dark purple to black berries are native to North America and have been almost entirely ignored by mainstream nutrition. That's changing rapidly because aronia berries have tested as the single highest antioxidant fruit on the planet. Their ORAC score, the standardized measure of antioxidant power, reaches an astonishing 16,000 per 100-gram serving. To put that in perspective, that's more than double the score of blueberries and nearly triple the score of blackberries. For aging muscles drowning in oxidative stress, aronia berries are like sending in an elite rescue team. A 2020 study published in the journal Antioxidants measured the effects of aronia berry supplementation on oxidative stress and muscle recovery markers in adults over 60. After 12 weeks, participants who consumed aronia berry extract daily showed a 41% reduction in malondialdehyde levels. Malondialdehyde is the gold standard biomarker for cellular oxidative damage, and a 41% reduction means the rate at which free radicals were destroying muscle cell membranes was cut nearly in half. The same study found a 35% reduction in creatine kinase levels after physical activity, which indicates significantly less muscle tissue damage during everyday movement and exercise. But what makes aronia berries truly special for muscle health goes beyond antioxidants. A 2021 study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology discovered that aronia polyphenols enhanced nitric oxide production in blood vessels, feeding skeletal muscle by 29%. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing more blood to flow through. More blood flow means more oxygen, more amino acids, and more nutrients reaching your muscle fibers. After 70, nitric oxide production naturally declines, starving your muscles of the resources they need to maintain themselves and rebuild after activity. Aronia berries directly reverse that decline. There's also emerging research on aronia's effect on a hormone called irisin. Irisin is sometimes called the exercise hormone because your muscles release it during physical activity, and it helps convert white fat into brown fat while promoting muscle preservation. A 2022 pilot study in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that participants consuming aronia berry concentrate for 8 weeks had 18% higher circulating irisin levels compared to the control group, even without increasing their exercise. This suggests that aronia berries may partially mimic the muscle-preserving signals of exercise at the hormonal level. That's a remarkable finding for seniors who are physically limited and unable to exercise as intensely as younger adults. Now, aronia berries are extremely tart and astringent when eaten raw, which is actually why they're called chokeberries. Most people find the fresh berry too bitter to enjoy on its own. The best approach is to buy aronia berry powder or frozen aronia berries. Mix 1 to 2 tablespoons of aronia powder into a smoothie with banana or other sweet fruits to offset the tartness. You can also find aronia berry juice concentrate at health food stores for about $12 to $15 per bottle, which provides roughly 2 weeks of daily servings. Mix 1 ounce of concentrate into water or sparkling water and drink it with breakfast. Frozen aronia berries cost about $6 to $8 per bag and can be blended into smoothies or cooked into a simple compote with a touch of honey. The cooking process actually increases the bioavailability of some aronia polyphenols by breaking down tough cell walls. Consume your serving daily with a protein-rich meal to give your muscles the maximum combination of antioxidant protection, improved blood flow, and amino acid delivery all at once. Aronia berries are the muscle recovery secret that almost nobody in the mainstream health world is talking about yet. But the next fruit contains a molecule that scientists believe could fundamentally change how we treat age-related muscle loss. Number 2. Sea buckthorn berries. Sea buckthorn berries are small, bright orange fruits that grow on thorny shrubs across northern Europe. Central Asia, and parts of Canada. They look like tiny orange jewels clustered along silvery branches, and they contain something that no other fruit on this planet can match. Sea buckthorn is the only known fruit that contains all 4 omega fatty acids: omega-3, omega-6, omega-7, and omega-9. No other fruit even comes close, and this matters enormously for aging muscles because your muscle cell membranes are made primarily of fatty acids. Every single muscle fiber in your body is wrapped in a phospholipid membrane that controls what enters and exits the cell. When those membranes degrade, which happens progressively after 70, your muscle cells can't absorb nutrients properly, can't receive hormonal signals effectively, and can't dispose of waste products efficiently. The muscle literally suffocates inside its own damaged wrapper. A 2019 study published in the journal Lipids in Health and Disease found that omega-7 fatty acid supplementation, specifically PAMIC acid, improved cell membrane integrity in aged tissue by 32% and enhanced insulin signaling at the cellular level by 24%. Improved insulin signaling means your muscle cells become dramatically better at absorbing glucose and amino acids, the 2 primary fuels they need for maintenance and growth. Sea buckthorn is the richest known natural source of omega-7 on the planet, containing up to 40% palmitoleic acid in its seed and pulp oil. No fish, no nut, no seed delivers this concentration. A separate 2020 study in the Journal of Functional Foods tested sea buckthorn oil supplementation in adults over 65 for 90 days. Participants showed a 22% improvement in muscle membrane fluidity, a 19% increase in amino acid uptake efficiency, and a measurable improvement in muscle contractile function as assessed by hand dynamometer testing. The researchers noted that these improvements occurred without any changes to diet or exercise routines, attributing the results entirely to the membrane rebuilding effects of the omega fatty acid combination. But sea buckthorn doesn't just rebuild membranes. It also contains exceptionally high levels of vitamin E, with one study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry measuring up to 17 milligrams of alpha-tocopherol per 100 grams of fresh berries. Vitamin E is the primary fat-soluble antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. A 2018 meta-analysis in Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with the highest vitamin E intake had 27% lower rates of muscle mass decline over a 5-year period compared to those with the lowest intake. Sea buckthorn delivers this vitamin E directly alongside the omega fatty acids that comprise the membranes, creating a build and protect combination that's uniquely effective. The berries are also remarkably rich in vitamin C, containing roughly 12 times more vitamin C per gram than oranges. This vitamin C supports the collagen matrix that gives your muscles structural integrity and connects them to tendons and bones. For practical use, the easiest approach is sea buckthorn juice or puree. The raw berries are extremely sour and astringent, so most people consume them as juice mixed with water or blended into smoothies. Sea buckthorn juice is available online and at specialty health stores for about $15 to $20 per bottle, which provides approximately 3 to 4 weeks of daily servings at 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. You can also find sea buckthorn oil capsules, but the whole berry juice retains the full spectrum of vitamins, polyphenols, and fiber that isolated oil capsules miss. Some people mix the juice into salad dressings or drizzle it over yogurt. The bright orange color and tangy citrus-like flavor make it surprisingly versatile in the kitchen. Consume it daily alongside a meal containing healthy fats because the fat-soluble vitamins and omega fatty acids absorb significantly better in the presence of dietary fat. For anyone over 70 whose muscles feel stiff, weak, and unresponsive despite adequate protein intake, the problem may not be protein at all. It may be that your muscle cell membranes have degraded to the point where they can't use the protein you're giving them. Sea buckthorn berries address this root cause like nothing else in nature. And now we arrive at the number one fruit, the one that left an entire research team questioning their own data. Number 1. Maki berries. Deep in the Patagonian forests of Chile and Argentina grows a small, dark purple berry that indigenous Mapuche warriors have consumed for centuries to maintain strength and endurance. Western science dismissed it as folklore until a series of studies in the last 5 years revealed that maqui berries contain the highest concentration of a specific anthocyanin called delphinidin of any fruit ever tested. Delphinidin is not just any antioxidant. It's a uniquely potent activator of a cellular pathway called AMPK, which stands for AMP-activated protein kinase. AMPK is your body's master energy sensor. When AMPK is activated in muscle cells, it triggers a cascade of regenerative events. It stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning your muscles build brand new energy-producing mitochondria. It enhances glucose uptake into muscle fibers independently of insulin. It activates autophagy, the cellular cleanup process that removes damaged proteins and organelles that clog up aging muscle tissue. And most critically for seniors, AMPK activation has been shown to directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis through pathways that bypass the age-related resistance that makes muscle building so difficult after 70. A landmark 2021 study published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle tested standardized maqui berry extract in adults aged 68 to 82 over a 16-week period. The results were so striking that the research team at the University of Chile repeated the entire trial with a second cohort to confirm their findings. Participants receiving daily maqui extract showed a 34% increase in AMPK activation in skeletal muscle biopsies. Their muscle protein synthesis rates increased by 28% compared to the placebo group. Grip strength improved by 14%. And lean muscle mass, measured by DEXA scan, increased by an average of 0.8 kilograms over the 16-week period. In elderly adults not performing resistance training, gaining nearly a kilogram of lean mass in 4 months from a fruit extract alone is virtually unprecedented in the published literature. The lead researcher described delphinidin from maqui as the most significant natural anabolic compound identified in the last 2 decades. A 2022 follow-up study in molecular nutrition and food research confirmed these findings and added another dimension. Maqui berry delphinidin reduced myostatin expression by 22%. Myostatin is a protein your body produces that actively limits muscle growth. Think of myostatin as a governor on an engine. It prevents your muscles from growing beyond a certain point. After 70, myostatin levels increase significantly, making it even harder for your body to build or maintain muscle. Maqui berries partially release that brake, allowing your muscles to respond to protein and activity in ways they haven't been able to for years. The same study showed a 37% reduction in NF-κB activation, which is the master inflammatory switch inside your cells that drives chronic inflammation and muscle wasting. By simultaneously boosting growth signals and suppressing destruction signals, maqui berries create the most favorable internal environment for muscle regeneration of any natural compound studied to date. For maximum benefit, consume maqui berry powder daily. Fresh maqui berries are virtually impossible to find outside of South America, but freeze-dried maqui powder retains the full delphinidin content and is widely available online and at health food stores. The studies use doses equivalent to roughly 1 to 2 teaspoons of concentrated maqui powder per day. Mix it into a morning smoothie with protein powder and a handful of nuts, or stir it into yogurt or oatmeal. The powder has a deep purple color and a mildly sweet, berry-like flavor that blends easily into most foods. A quality maqui berry powder costs about $15 to $25 per bag and lasts approximately 4 to 6 weeks at the recommended daily serving, which comes to less than $1 per day. Look for brands that specify the delphinidin content on the label, because quality varies significantly between products. Choose organic, freeze-dried powder with no fillers or added sugars. Some brands offer standardized maqui extract capsules, which can work but generally contain less of the full-spectrum polyphenol matrix that the whole berry powder provides. Take it consistently every single day. The clinical improvements in the studies emerged gradually over weeks 4 through 16, meaning this is a long-term strategy, not an overnight miracle. But the trajectory is clear, and the science is undeniable. Maqui berries deliver the most comprehensive muscle-regenerating effect of any fruit ever studied, combining mitochondrial renewal, protein synthesis activation, myostatin suppression, and inflammatory shutdown in a single tiny berry that costs pennies per serving. And there you have it. 6 tiny secret fruits that science confirms can rebuild your muscles after 70. From golden berries blocking muscle-wasting enzymes to maqui berries activating regeneration at the deepest cellular level. These aren't trendy supplements that cost a fortune. These are real fruits, backed by real published studies, available for less than the price of your morning coffee. Your muscles are not gone. They're waiting. They're waiting for the right signals, the right nutrients, the right compounds to wake them back up. And now you know exactly which fruits deliver those signals. Start with 1. Add it to tomorrow's breakfast. Give your body the tools it's been missing. If this video opened your eyes to something new, please hit that subscribe button right now. It costs you nothing, and it helps us keep bringing this life-changing research to the people who need it most. Thank you so much for watching.